Hi! So somebody requested that I do a reaction for LESSERAFIM's I'm Fearless official music video. They're so hot right now, newest girl group in town, and of course because they're so popular, so successful, that comes with a lot of haters. But let's get to the music video. I've also been waiting for this quote for quite some time now. Okay. Oh. This is how you do an intro. Now that tune is going to be caught in my head for weeks. Interesting. This is the youngest one. Okay. Well, just the opening itself says a lot, I think. The mere fact that they didn't do a long intro, actually no intro at all. They actually went jump right into the choreography and to the music. That says a lot. Like, we're here for business. We're gonna hit the ground running. No intro, no time for that. Let's get to it. So that's a good sign. Second is that they're combining a lot of opposing elements. So for example, she's wearing boxing gloves, which is traditionally a male sports, but then she's wearing like a gown and the gloves is pink. And then even the wardrobe that they're wearing right now, there's somebody that's actually wearing like a gym shorts or cycling shorts, but it's like it has a lot of sequins and pink and something like that. So it is very masculine in nature, but they put a lot of female feel into it. And I feel like the entire choreography and the entire music is all about that. Like, there's some touch of, like, their landmark has always been masculine, traditionally masculine, but they put a lot of female touch in it, which softens everything, which is a statement. For me, I take it as them saying we're unapologetically female, but it doesn't mean that we're not as tough as the other gender. That's good. Because I think the last thing that I wanted them to do was sort of go hard and all masculine and all, you know, I like celebrating women's femininity. I think that's who we are. I like our curves, the softness and everything that comes with it. But I also feel that just because we're soft and we're, you know, smaller and whatever, it doesn't mean that we can't do tough things. And they're delivering that message. And even the choreography in itself, there's a lot of body extension. So they do a lot of stuff where a lot of movements where they actually extend their limbs. You know, they put it up high, their arms up high. They do a lot of kicks, and these are all traditionally tough, like rough kind of movements. And then, but then after that, they immediately shift to something soft, which again for me reinforces the initial message of them going for whatever it is that the opposite gender can do, they're doing, but they're doing it in their own flair. It's in their own terms. They're not going to play your masculine game, but it doesn't mean we're not as tough as you are. So there's a lot of tough movements. There's a lot of movements that actually establishes their dominance and their force and their strength, but they always come back, like right after that move they would come back with something soft, and so that emphasizes their femininity. So far I like it. And so even the beat is like the melody itself, like when they do ha, so it's a lot of throwing, it's a lot of like, there's so much abandon in their beats and in their melodies, but then they combine it with something very controlled with ta 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 ta. So there's so much control. So there's a lot of throwing. There's a lot of like, yeah, like a sound of abandon. Like I don't give an F. But then they shift to something very controlled and very yeah, very controlled and so much into measures and something. Yeah, so I hope you get what I'm trying to say. So far so good. Even their outfit right now, they're in this they're in gym clothing, they're in workout clothes, but they're very much doing very feminine movements. Okay. Yeah, and then this is, you know, traditionally masculine, but then they're wearing something very feminine. So it's, there's the message, like, we'll do what you do, but we're going to do it in our own terms. Yeah, that nice balance. Again, there's a lot of throwing of hands, you know, extension, which, you know, the more you make it, like, just physically, when you make yourself bigger, that's establishing dominance, scaring other people, you know, establishing who you are, um, occupying as much space as you can. So there's a lot of movements like that, there's in their routine, but then there's also that balance of those movement of hips, but it's not too much, like, there's not a lot of, so far there's not a lot of grinding. Good. There's nothing wrong with that, it's just that when there's too much of it, I kind of am looking for, like, some variation. So they're good. Nice. See, even that, you go the boxing move. Sorry. That's very much, you know, boxing move, and then they follow it up with something soft and something, you know, flipping their hair. The props that they're using, they're traditionally masculine: motorcycles, race cars, boxing. It's a nice balance. There's, you know, enough hip movements, enough body rolls just to appeal to the traditional K-pop audience. But then there's also actual choreography, where it's not just about grinding and just not just about hits. So nice. There's a nice balance. Wow, don't they have a minor? Somebody actually, there was somebody who commented why they said that when we think that a move is specifically sexual, it's all in our heads. It's actually us that's putting malice into the movement, when it can just be identified, like, it can be just perceived as a choreography. So I'm just going to be blunt. Really, something becomes sexual in a lot of people's eyes when the movement mimics sexual movement. So the WAP, which is this, when you're hitting the ground with your hips, is very much a sexual movement. You know, it's the most basic of sexual movements. So that's why it is identified as a sexual move. So I'm surprised that they did it, because I think they have a minor. She's like 15, right? Although they didn't show the whole body. Almost, but I wouldn't have gone that way. Had I been the creative director, I wouldn't have allowed it, because there's a minor. And, you know, you can call me conservative or whatever it is, but that mimics a sexual movement, and so that will be perceived as a sexual move. Very seductive and very sexy, and she's just 15, you know, so you gotta wait 3 more years. But maybe that's why they didn't show, like, the whole body when they were doing it, in consideration of her. But why put it there? Anyway. Um, okay, so I think that was the Do You Think I'm Fragile? I caught that. um, I think that was the only thing that left like a bad taste in my mouth, because they do have a minor. She's 15 years old, and I don't think they should have asked her to do that. On the other hand, maybe at the end they realized that they shouldn't have, and so that's why they didn't show the entire body when they were doing the WAP. Other than that, I liked everything that I saw. I understand. I wouldn't necessarily say they're pushing the envelope, that this is a groundbreaking song that is so different from all the other songs that we've heard. I think they hit the right balance between entertaining and accommodating the kind of sound that the general Korean public is used to. At the same time, trying to sort of separate the group from the rest. So you have this appeal, and this is very much consistent with the entire sound. Actually, you do have them saying, hey, we can do everything the opposite gender can do. We can win at this game, but we're going to do it with our own flair. We're going to do it in our own way. We're not going to go masculine and all rough and tumble and whatever. We're going to be a princess but fight in the game that you're participating in, and we're going to win. So that's a good message. So I think it was intentional that they hit the right balance between what the general public is actually used to and then pushing the envelope. I would be interested to see and watch how they're going to grow eventually as performers and as singers. I do know that two of them participated in the writing and the production of this song, so I think that's a good sign. I think they do have different members with different genre. They have somebody who's doing opera, and then one is like into ballet, and then the other one a guitarist. So you have your classical, you have your rock and whatever. You fuse them together. If they strike the right balance, if they move in the right direction, if they all grow together, I think they have a bright future ahead of them. They do have a really good chance of actually making a difference, like actually rocking the boat and doing something different from the rest and becoming one of the most influential artists, not just in Korea or in Asia, but in the world. Yeah, excited to see them grow. I will watch their live performance next. Thanks, bye.